What's up, guys? It's Mrjamvad, and today we're back on the Pokemon Showdown server. We used hail, we used sun, and naturally another weather had to come about. So I searched this rain team from the Academy Discord. If you guys want some OU teams, or you just want to get better at the tier, you want to get started, the best place on the planet to start is the Academy Discord. The link is in the description down below. I'm not just saying that because it is quote unquote my Discord, because I always say it's not. It's actually everybody else Discord, the staff's Discord. And so really dope stuff. Also, guys, I'm curious, were any of you guys cynical or skeptical or you know, some insert slightly negative emotion here labeling with regards to me and whether or not I was a phony or something of that nature? Because it struck me, I don't remember what I was doing. Okay, but yeah, so shout outs to these two. Diego's just been a new sub. I think he came from the series I did with Duncan, and you know, this really put a smile on my face, because he said primarily, you know, after 2 years without playing on the ladder, I started playing monotype after Crown Tundra, and the biggest thing is I saw a big change, and now I have fun instead of feeling fear in playing. Now, let me go ahead and start. The reason I'm asking that is a lot of times, you know, I'll see certain comments or see people respond positively and whatnot, and they say very similar things. Oh, damn, bro, like, you seem like a nice person. You seem like a, and so I don't ever. Okay. Hold up, I think Zygarde goes crazy in this one. Rain as well, but he has the water absorb, but you hate to see it. But he's super weak to Coco after Ferrothorn has been hammered. So it's a question of how many Dracos am I going to drop on that Ferrothorn, or how long is it going to take for my Zygarde to substall my opponent to death. But yeah, it's something I think about in the sense of, let me break this down. So Pelipper's core purpose in this one, it loses almost everything on his team. Actually, low keys for just Rain and Garchomp. Ideally, I would like to stay in until I Skull Burn the Pharaoh, because I know then that'll open up Coco significantly. Also, I really like Tornadus here. Plot with Rocks Up, if that's not Boots, can just run through his team. Plot Torn, baby. Kingdra, you know, I'm gonna Hurricane. It mid-grounds everything. I actually like Hurricane a lot in this. Ferrothorn's core purpose, Semi-Guard against Ferrothorn, forced to knock off all these great, wonderful things. Tapu Koko wins, Zygarde wins. So Koko, Tapu, and Ferrothorn, and Tornadus are going to be my backboners. So now the biggest threat to my team is definitely potential Urshifu. I can't let him start off with that. The worst case, it would be if Garchomp's what he opts for, right? Because it allows for me to VS hard. Now he could go hard Chomp. I think that's a little risky if you're expecting can't speak. But yeah, we're gonna slow play it here. And what I mean by slow play is generally when a person, like for example, I know Ferrothorn guards against the large majority of my team. Now he's already at 65%, which means he's no longer a good Coco switch in, right? So now with this spike up, he's even more so not a Coco switch in. Spike, I rather Spike there because it covered for Garchomp's 12% on Garchomp, and that's probably Boots Thunders. Now it's possible that it's not, but very likely the case. And so what's important here is for me to get this damage off on Chomp, that way Coco can knock him out. Now, what I'm going to do instead is actually Pelipper as a mid-ground, because what Pelipper allows is for me to U-turn out. Now, he's a defensive Chomp with Helmet, which is good information. That now means that I'm able to go to Kingdra here and fire off Hurricane. Now, if he opts to stay in, as I said, Coco destroys. I just don't want him to go to Volcanion, as he opts for Ferrothorn. Protects, but no leftovers. But it's still a good play because he covers Terrain. And so now Ferrothorn is out of the way, which means look at his team and look at Tapu Koko once it comes in, you know. He has nothing to guard against Thunder. As he opts for Thunderous. These no longer learn Hidden Power Ice. So I'm not sure what they would do to a Zygarde. either way, he wouldn't go for an electric move here. I'm just thinking whether or not I'm actually gonna stay in here and Hurricane. One, I just know he won't electric move. Even if he does, he can't knock me out. But I want this damage also +2 Tornadus. His Hurricane can knock him out. So it does U-turn, predicting my switch. As now he opts for Urshifu. The only way this would make sense is if you're gonna just opt for Sucker Punch. Could if you either Sucker Punch or you heavy duty boost on Coco. Do I need my health? No, I don't. So I'm actually off for Coco. Either U-turn or you thing. You could Wicked Blow, but there's the Sucker Punch. It just made sense, right? And this allows for me to Dazzling Gleam hard. Now, if he opts for Garch, Dazzling Gleam just covers everything. Spectre won't go down to Thunder. It'd be a waste of a turn if I allow Garchomp to come in and I didn't Thunder. So now electric moves are free. Can't guard against Dazzling Gleam anyway. But all that aside, so it's 1881, which is good points. I decay every day. But yeah, you know, I'm often, you know, I'll get PMs on, you know, oh, you know, I appreciate what you're doing for the community and all these things and whatnot. And so, as weird as this sounds, it dawned on me. I'm like, man, you know, I think I'm doing good. Like, doing good in the sense of I'm doing a good thing. And the reason I'm saying that, well, Thunderous shouldn't be able to, it's like likely Thunder Wave or something like that. I mean, not Thunder Wave, Sludge Wave or something of that nature coming out. You could Volt Switch, knock off though, so that's blessed. So, free the rocks here. Yes, Superpower trades Thunderous for this. And now that means that Zygarde, Coco, all these things have already prevailed. Spectre would make sense if you're like, okay, I don't feel like I'm gonna win, and so I need like kind of a solution. You could offer Urshifu doesn't make sense though. Spectre makes the most sense to me. I'm trying to cover for every possible situation. So to me, Torn makes the most sense. I thought I had knockoff, which is why I was like, okay. But what this does allows for me to U-turn out on his likely Shadow Ball and bring my Zygarde in for free, and then Coco beats the other two. Spectre is the only thing left. So that looks like Scarf damage. As I said, the Zyg can come in, the Zygote, the Zygarde. As Urshifu likely is going to rear his head here. Yeah, let's just wrap this up. Let's just wrap this up. I figured Urshifu would come out, but we get to find out what he wants to lock himself into. So he locks himself into Wicked Blow, and then that allows for Pelisac into Kingdra Hurricane spam. I guess I could Draco, but I don't want to waste the time. Zygarde eats Spectre's hits, which will prevent the boost. So Volcanion comes in, which I'm glad to see. Expanded Urshifu. I could go Tornado, sack that. Go Coco. No, go Tornado, sack that. And then Coco would just win. What I'm concerned about is some kind of hacks, right? So here he obviously goes for... I sack this, I get the free switch into, what's this thing, speed tier, to Coco. Coco can't be KO'd unless I get crit. So I'm gonna do is, just to avoid the Spectre KO, I'll let him sludge bomb here. Um, and I'll just kill the... I'll just let the Volcanion kill me and KO. I have Coco positioned versus everything else. So we get to Thunder here. In his mind, he's like, why would you do that? Which is understandable. Urshifu comes in. I can Volt Switch KO as he Sucker Punch. Even if I don't KO, though, it would position Zygarde right perfectly. So now he's banded. I already know that. And so I can sub, and Spectre is done for. It's done in this town, because now I can glare. Even if I didn't glare there, it was already done. Shifu dies to rocks. So he Scarf as expected. But crits, you always want to cover for any bullshit. So now, obviously now Coco wins no matter what would have happened. So to him, he's like, well, why would you even switch around? Da, 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 da. Always cover your ass. Especially, you already know your boy. If they can get the look, it will happen. So good showing for the rain. I was super focused on... I autopilot that a lot because I was super focused on, you know, that thing. But let me know if initially, you know, you were skeptical. And I have to understand that there are a lot of people, one, who are new to me. They don't know my past as far as, you know, I was a king of Pokemon when I used to play a ton of tournaments. I do wish I had taken singles tournaments, not single, but like individual tournaments more seriously, and had a couple of trophies, because, you know, people, that matters to people. And so it would have just been a nice thing to say, hey, won these trophies. So that's why, rather than like trying to dig through the records, and, you know, even though that's not even that good, but you get what I'm trying to say. So we're gonna find another one. So yeah, it dawned on me. I'm like, dang, people think I'm a good person. And not to say I'm not a bad person or a good person. I just never thought about it in good versus bad. So the way I do things is, what's the alternative, right? So if I show up, make a video, and I'm just in a bad zone, or not even necessarily that. Like, let's say I'm doing for the academy right now. If I'm doing actually what I think is my only option. So to, you know, others, it may seem like, oh, he's doing a good thing, but to me, it's my only option, because to me, it's, if I didn't do this, I'd regret it, and I'm not gonna live with regret. And so, because I'm not gonna live with regret, it's not really a choice. I either suffer or I do the thing that is speaking to me to be done. Does that make sense? And so there's not much choice in it. You do your passion or you suffer. So I appreciate people for saying that, and it really helped bring clarity for myself. And so let's break this down. The Peli Victini, something, not a matchup we want. In fact, Victini outright is just problematic. Well played Kingdra here destroys. Well played Tornadus destroys. Well played Ferrothorn with hazards up. I'm gonna have to hazard stack. Rain plus Ferrothorn is gonna be critical. Coco, insanely good here. Insanely good. Hazards plus Coco plus Kingdra, insanely good. And then Zygarde, if it's not unaware, Clef quite literally sweeps my opponent. And so my biggest concern is whether or not the Victini is special. And so weirdly enough, I might end up, I do wish I had flip turn. I'm actually going to lead with Kingdra because of this Victini, and I'm going to drop a Draco straight up. Now, if it's a final Gambit set, then Victini is dead, but there's no way I could have gotten around that. And so we're going to see how much Toxapex is taken from this Specs Draco. It's not a 2-hit KO, which means he's going to pivot back to his Victini. So it's a question of, because I have to position myself well. He has tools to give me a hard time. He certainly has the tools to give me a hard time. I don't think he'd want my Ferrothorn just coming in for free here. Now he might opt for knockoff as a mid-ground, in which case let's find out. But he just T-spikes. Okay, I'll take that, because T-spike literally doesn't affect anything but Kingdra. Um, and so very interesting decision in T spiking, because that would imply that you're willing to let rocks stay up. Um, so, well, Zygarde is affected by that. So, my thing is what the Victini set is. Because if it's Choice Bandit or something of that nature, I'm in a really bad spot. What can I do? So I'm gonna knock off here. Mel comes in with CB. Me knocking off his CB is actually low-key bad. But they generally only have superpower. I can eat to get rocks. To trade superpower for rocks, there is no trade. As I'll opt for Torn superpower again. I'm surprised he's superpowered again. I'm quite surprised he's superpowered again. And so now I can take control of the situation with Coco Boots, and then I'm gonna punish that Zygarde, because I know Zapdos is gonna come in. Question is whether you want Zapdos getting punished. As he risks Zapdos getting punished. So I'm a Dazzling Gleam again here. I think mid-ground wise, I need to find out what his Victini is. I want to condition, because Zapdos is in no position to take control. So even if he were to attack here, please, for the love of God, do not hacks. Thank you. Please hit. Nice. It's a big hit right there. Is it pressure? Static. So Thunder is doing enough to where Hurricane into, okay, fair enough. It's actually a tougher matchup than I expected. The fact that he's offensive, Zapdos, is actually kind of good. I don't have Roost on the Coco, which is bad, considering how important it is. So he does go to the Zygarde. I got hurt in confusion, so we won't ever know. Well, he won't ever know what would have come about from that. And so now Torn and Zygarde are gonna have to do a lot of work in this. Pelly's natural bulk should disallow to a KO, but I figured he'd E-speed anyway. And so this is where things get interesting, right? Because I could opt for defog, but problem with that is I don't shut down his pecs. Scalding into Zapdos, no. So he's banded Zygarde. So there's the pecs. As I said, you know, it doesn't really fix the fact that the pecs is still alive. So if I were my opponent, I'd certainly mid-ground. 0% chance you sack picks, because then you lose to 0% chance you sack picks, because then you lose to water spam. You lose to Kingdra. Straight up. So 0% chance you sack picks here. So the question is, what would you give up instead? So he does go hard to the Zygarde, which again makes sense. He knows how valuable my Coco is to me, so I'd assume that he'd figure, okay, well, I still think he's gonna E-speed. I think he'd try to get my Coco gone. Yeah, okay. So I'm getting the predictions correct. And so Zygarde is now dead, so I'm gonna put him in a spot where he's gonna have to sack that. He's gonna have to defog or give me his peck. So he actually opts for Melmetal, which is interesting considering how dangerous Coco is now. Like, Coco is mad dangerous. So I think you have to Thunder Punch or something of that nature. Double Iron Bash would be too big of a problem. I'd much rather I'd much rather. I think he would. 'Cause like I'm thinking, okay, well, if I were to have Thunder Punch into Pelipper into predicting Thunder Punch or Double Iron Bash into. Actually, what I'll do is Coco Volt Switch into Tornadus. With the minus attack, I can take a Double Iron Bash. Part of me does think he's gonna Thunder Punch, but I should be able to eat even that. Double Iron Bash. I didn't take it well, but I took it. Weather Ball is 50. Wow, how embarrassing. Torn. So I'm alive, which is huge. And now Zapdos. Melmetal is gone, which means that Coco is in a position of power once again. I'm gonna defog very soon, depending on what is Clef. If it's unaware Clef, then you know that can get tricky. And the way he's playing is as if he's like, okay, I'm gonna put you in a spot where you either give me the Zygarde or nah. Do I even need Torn anymore? So I'm a Hurricane. Oh, I needed to hit that bad. He defogs though. So okay, static. Zygarde's not gonna enjoy the Hurricane. He can't hit all his Hurricanes. So he Thunderbolts, which is a big deal for me, as unless this has it doesn't have Glare. So not Glare. You know what I'm saying. So I'd assume perhaps unaware Clef. So Moonblast, we're gonna be playing this game, right? You know, who's the Clef? So I got no hazards. The Clef did a lot to me. So his best case scenario would be to so he was gonna stand to get hit. Just fine. Torn is free. This is not horrible as I get to plot here. So that was an interesting series of events, considering he probably doesn't want my Torn gone. I forgot about Zygarde. This was a mistake. I should have killed his. I should have attacked there. That was actually a mistake. Costly mistake, in fact. So Pelipper. Man, that was actually a costly mistake, because I don't think Torn can take a Bandy speed. But upside is I think his Clef is not unaware. So I'll have to. My rain is no longer the necessary requirement. Watch me would have killed him. But yeah, this is not an easy game for sure. So yeah, I would have died. So now the Zapdos comes in, and it's a question of, do you opt for Roost Spam? I think Hurricane in here is the best mid ground. So he does attack into me, which I don't mind, because it allows Coco to come in and pick up a KO, I assume. Voltage did 41. Zapdos is no longer the biggest. Maybe he'll go to Scarf Victini. I don't know. That's the only qualm I have, if it's Scarf Victini. So figured that would get sacked. One more turn of rain, probably Scarf Victini, though he didn't really have a choice in the matter. King Jura has to be my mod of choice, whether he's scarfed or not. Bolt strikes, yeah. And so this is where things get interesting, because I'm gonna pivot back to Coco on his Clef, and I'm gonna VS out. If he leaves the Clef in, which is a 0% chance, now I will miss rocks. I do think he's choice Victini. which, okay, makes sense. Back to Victini you go, because you don't want to lose an extra mon. And so now he gets to U-turn. I'll get the 1,000 arrows damage on this clef to see how much we doing here. 21%. I'll take it. Zygarde is a beast, so once it starts coiling, I know it'll do its damn thing. I do wish that fuck, that was a big miss. That did nothing. Hopefully it doesn't burn me. Yes. So there's no point in me subbing down. I'm just gonna coil here. The clef is gonna come out, and this is just how this matchup's gonna go. It'll be one of those things where I just have to bank on the para. Now clef can't do very much to me, and Zygarde is just a nasty creature. And so I 3KO him, but I don't think he can 3KO. Oh, I get a crit there, which is tough. Actually, Moonblast did a lot more to me than I expected. And the upside is if he goes to Toxapex to try to haze, I can just sub. I don't even need to sub, but it's the best play because he can't touch me, right? And so 1,000 arrows spam, which covers haze and Victini. That's tough, but that's Zygarde, man. That's tough. It's tough. It's tough. This thing is definitely going, though. This thing's definitely going. There were certain places I didn't need to lose an extra mon to Zygarde. I didn't need to lose an extra mon to Zygarde. So that's 27 minutes in. I'll grab another one for the people. But yeah, stuff like what my guy left here, right, and said, you know, one shout outs to my guy right here. He's been killing it in the Discord. I think the biggest thing is getting back people back into the game, and not just that, but having people enjoy the game again. Because if you watch the recent video I made about, you know, how to have more fun on Pokemon again, it's the one with the Professor Oak thumbnail. Nothing but positive responses, because obviously it's a positive video. Now you're always gonna have people, if the video directly addresses you and you feel, you know, attacked and your feelings are hurt and all these things, then naturally you're probably not gonna like that video too much. But it's not, I'd be damned if I didn't put something up because I didn't think it would get positive feedback. If I feel like even 3 people will benefit from it, and those are the 3 people, then it's coming out. And so it's one of those things that is going to age. It's not really like it's not one of those videos that you know, expect to get a lot of views. It's one of those videos that when that person is ready for it, it'll be there and it'll bring all the clarity that they need. I love Hazard plus Kingdra sweeps the sky. Straight up. Pelipper should never come out unless it's setting up rain. But I think he's like screens offense, though. I think he's like screens offense, which, you know, it's whatever. Ferrothorn is almost impossible for him to kill. Since he is potentially screens offense, I'm gonna play one. I'm gonna shut down potential Urshifu on start. That's my worst potential lead. And then I'll VS on the Regieleki, and then I'll set up my hazards. Though that wastes a turn. I just don't want Urshifu to be his start, because I want Coco at utmost. But Urshifu doesn't make sense as a lead, not with the nature of his team. I'm going to just go my gut and expect Lecky. I'll start with spikes into rocks. Right. And I'm really just planning, once I get these spikes up, to just whoosh, because I'll have to stall out his screens. But by the time, if he commits to screening Then one downside of this Ferrothorn is doesn't have, do I need rocks? Yeah, 25% on Azu. It doesn't have Leech Seed. I would have liked Leech Seed here. Like, it would shut down whatever he plans to go to. Like, let's say if his solution here is to go to Mrjamvad. So it's Zygarde. So he remove his leftovers, it's a big deal. Like, Leech Seed would be so great right now. But I understand the concept, you know, of it. And so he may coil this first turn and, you know, glare and all these things. I don't need any more. Two Skulls should break the sub, even with light screen up. It's DD though. Yeah. So he has 3 turns of screens left. Sub Glare, Dragon Dance, 1,000 Arrows. It's not gonna do. Come on, come on. Burn him, burn him, burn him. Oh, I'll take that. Crit for crit. I'll take that. I'll take that. Now, you know, I need my rain. As he asks for Azu. How many turns of reflect? 1 more turn of reflect. 2 more turns of light screen. I'm gonna lose a mind to this, but what don't I need? Zygarde. Zygarde wins. Okay, I know what I'll do. So I'm going to Tornadus weakest link, other than Coco is more important because you're gonna belly drum, right? He has 1 more turn of reflect, 2 more turns of light screen. I have 3 more turns of rain, but force the Aqua Jet into knockoff. I have 1 more turn of rain, and then I can use that rain turn with Kingdra, eat, and then kill. Because I don't have priority. So otherwise I'd have to take a +6 Aqua Jet from this monster, which I'm not committed to do. Now the Aqua Jet here, taking the Aqua Jet here is kind of annoying because Urshifu gets to boost, but and his Regieleki gets to come back in and set up screens. Otherwise, yeah, like I wish I had another turn there. But upside is I still have the rain, and if I play this well, which I fully intend to, because he's gonna light screen here, I'm gonna take advantage of his time, and I'll substitute, and I'll coil. What? That broke the sub? One, I don't think I'd die to Flare Cannon. I am stupid bulky. 2, I think I'm bulkier than, faster than him. Knowing he's probably, okay, I'm faster. Yeah, he's like probably stored power and stuff. So since I was faster there, I'll be faster here since it's half speed. Right, goodness gracious. He could be like some kind of since I'm already faster, I'm gonna coil and substall until the, so he's draining Kiss. Again, I'm just gonna substitute stall until could be like weakness policy or something like that. If that's the case, with 1,000 arrowing here, it'd be even worth it. Yeah, because he might not be. Yeah, he is policy. The reason I'm saying that is because I just substitute again, and that's that. And he dies here. And then Urshifu has to come in and Wicked Blow. Now, just like I think it was the first game where we don't want Spectre to do annoying things, I'm gonna do the same thing with this, because Spectre outspeeds +2 Kingdra. Um, so what I'm gonna do is save Spadef Zygarde because I know it can take a hit. I don't think I can avoid Spectre getting a kill here since he's Life Orb. Because he's just gonna Sucker Punch. Well, if Volt Switch does enough to where Torn dies, yes I can. I'll Volt Switch here. Okay, yeah. And then Zygarde versus Spectre, which is what I wanted, so I can glare it. I guess if you're a sub, that's annoying. No way you're sub though. And if you're specs, that's annoying. Gonna glare. Yeah. No way you're sub. Watch him outspeed me again. That did 30. Zygarde's stupid bulky though, so it's like, you know. Is he DDoSing? Is he that upset that he's gonna DDoS me? Pretty big crit on his Zygarde Scald. Yeah, that's tough. Not let it change anything because he's Scarf. Coco outsped. But yeah, so that's where we're gonna wrap up the Rain Live. But yeah, guys, I'm very curious on that. Were you skeptical initially? Were you skeptical of the book? Were you skeptical of the Discord? Where's that skepticism coming from? Because the biggest thing I see is like, man, you know, damn, bro, you're actually doing good thing. Or when I actually tried the information, it worked. Or so I'm like, did you assume that it wouldn't first? And then I have to remember, like, oh wait, they don't know me, you know. So like many of these people are new to me, and they have their own lives and perceptions and worldviews, and so I think that's something I'm definitely gonna improve on more. So I narrate in a way where I assume you already know when that's impossible. So yeah, hit the like button if you enjoyed this live today. The Rain team will be in the description below. You guys have been killing it. Let's try to get this video to 300 likes, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.